Hello. Over the next 8 or 9 minutes, I'll show you how to do the most efficient warrior farm. This is typically around 70 gold per hour, sometimes a little bit more. Well, I should say 70 or a little bit more over the course of half an hour. So you do 5 runs of Zulfaric, which take about 6 minutes each, and you can get about 70 to 80 gold worth of materials in that time. Um, it's pretty nice because if you want to jump over to another character and do another type of farm while your instance time limit resets, it can be super lucrative. What you need for this farm is number one, a diamond flask set. So if you're not familiar, the diamond flask is a quest item or an item that you get after completing a Sunken Temple quest for warriors, and it restores 9 health every 5 seconds, and that scales with your healing power. So if you have 100 healing power, then you get 109 health every 5 seconds. So if you get a total, a total of 480 healing power, for example, you get an insane amount of healing, and it lets you do things that you normally wouldn't be able to. So for this, you probably need around 350. Most of that can come from green gear that you get on the auction house that just has plus whatever to healing spells. You don't need to get the most expensive item, but um, you know, two to three healing doesn't matter here and there. But and then various bind on pickup drops or quest items, you can pick it up. But I would have around 350 healing. Remember to get your healings shoulder enchant. So you need the diamond flask and healing set. You need the mallet of Zulfaric. If you don't have one, you can just go get a new one in the hinterlands. You go to the altar of Zool and you get it, and then you bring it over here. Um, so you need that, and you need enchanting. So this character is an enchanter, and I don't have a single enchanting spell. I just use it only for disenchanting, because the blues that you get from Zulfaric disenchant into large radiant shards and greater nether essence, which on my server are about 7 to 8 gold apiece. So you just get a boatload of them, and it's a pretty lucrative farm. So I'll show you the route here, and we can time it. So my warrior's pretty geared, but just from raiding and whatnot. But it's really not necessary at all to have great gear. It'll just mean it's a little bit slower. So you can pretty much go through this whole instance without pulling any additional mobs. You can jump over and behind this guy here, and just hit the 3 bosses that we're gonna fight. So it's Antu Sol, the Witch Doctor guy, and then Gazrilla. And you don't really have to fight anyone along the way. If you do pull some mobs, you can go to a reset point, or you can fight them. They're not that tough. Over here, you can go up this hill and jump over. And then along these hallways, you can go to the side. As long as you stick along here, it won't be a problem. I'll pull these guys just to show you where the reset spot is. Pretty easy. You just jump right at the corner here, jump up, and then go to the side over here, and they'll eventually stop bothering you. Yep. So Antu Sol, you go over here. You can see I'm a little bit behind because of that, but it won't make a huge impact. So you equip your diamond flask set. I'm going to move my stopwatch. You equip your diamond flask set, you hit it, and then you can switch back to your normal set. For my normal set, I keep most of the raid gear, but I try to drop the extra hit because you don't need it, and get strength and stamina from tankier pieces. So for example, I use Legs of Wrath here. So here you don't really have to worry about the other guys. You're just going to heal right through it. You just try to, you know, bloodthirst and whirlwind through. Um, Make sure you get your extra rage from Berserker Rage. 'Cause, you know, sometimes they'll stun you and whatnot, but it's not really a big deal. So usually if you just attack one, the other one will despawn. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it's not that bad. As you can see, my Diamond Flask wore out, so I'm starting to take a little bit of damage. Not quite sure why this particular fight took that long, but usually it's a bit quicker. So you always get a blue from this guy, so you always get your large Radiant Shard. So you can always go to the side with those guys and they won't bother you. This guy, sometimes there is a guy over there, uh, which you can pull. You can shoot him by standing on top of there and then targeting him. But usually he's alone. Sometimes he summons extra guys, but again, they're not that tough. And if you get into a sticky situation, you can always go back to the reset point over there. Yeah, it looks like he brought some guys. Not going to be too much of a problem. You can just whirlwind and cleave them down. Depending on your gear, you might, it's a good idea to bring some potions just in case. They're cheap and it's not worth the walk back and repair bill. But as you can see, it shouldn't really be a problem. So you usually get blues off of this guy. Actually, it's about 50-50 whether it's blues or greens, but they'll still disenchant into Greater Nether Essence or I think it's Dream Dust or Illusion Dust, which adds up over time. So I've seen other videos that go up and do the staircase event, which kind of prompted me to make this video because that is a terrible way to go about it. It's very slow. The thing takes a really long time and it's risky because it's kind of difficult. Because you can get two more large brilliant shards from the two bosses you get from that, but it's just not fast at all, so I skip it. If I want to, I can spend the free half an hour I get after 5 runs to go and do it, but it doesn't really matter really. So I kill the Hydromancer, Velratha. Usually don't pull this guy, but not a big deal. Especially since once Gazrilla spawns, sometimes it pulls one of these guys anyway, so. So with Gazrilla, he's got quite a bit of extra health. You'd want to drag him back here so he doesn't pull anybody extra. But because he's got the extra health, I like to stack 5 Sunders. I think it makes it a lot quicker. And then also I use Death Wish on him after the 5 Sunders is up. And I find that he drops pretty quick after that. If you're slightly undergeared and you're worried about pulling these guys when he comes out initially, what you can do is you can shoot him, and then there's a rock down here, and you can swim down behind the rock, and it'll LOS him, and he'll follow you down. Another thing to remember is sometimes he'll toss you up into the air, and you can intercept back so you don't take any additional fall damage. So he'll either drop the Gazrilla Tooth or the Gazrilla Scale Armor. and it'll typically disenchant into something good. So the way out's pretty easy. You can just run through. I don't think I've ever got knocked off my horse. Sometimes you'll aggro some guys, but it's worth it to take an extra half second just to make sure you don't aggro any of them. And then you can just run straight out and reset. So as you can see, this whole run, by the time I go out and reset, it'll take me about kind of close to 8 minutes. So 8 times 5 is 40 minutes. If you do it so that you don't have to reset any mobs or catch aggro that you didn't mean to, you can get it down to 6 minutes. I've done 5 runs in a row in 28 minutes. So once you get efficient at it, you can pretty much get everything done under a half an hour consistently. Um, so with 2 large radiant shards, dream dust, and the stuff I picked up, it's about 15 gold. So times 5, it's 65 gold in a half an hour. There you go.